Hey everyone, welcome back to VENN Esports' coverage of MSI. After wrapping up his final group stage match, I'm joined by mid laner from Pentanet. It's Chazz. Chazz, how you doing today, brother? You got your 2 matches on victory, and how'd it feel?
Um, they were good. They were really. I feel it was an improvement compared to some of our previous matches. So we're not ending on a win, which isn't what we wanted to win, obviously, but we're still high spirits, I guess. We went out having fun, doing our style. So it was yeah, we're feeling pretty good.
I think when you started the season, did you think, hey, sometime around May, I'm going to be laning against a showmaker and, holding my own, and if anything, getting a slight lead? Like, did that ever cross your mind?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah,
That
I was
definitely, if you told me that was gonna happen, I would say you're trolling. So yeah, it was definitely definitely not crossed my mind.
Yeah, I was trying to give you the layup for like, yeah, of course. We thought we were gonna
Oh
be
yeah,
there.
of course. No, I knew that I was gonna I knew once we started playing OPL or OCO, we were gonna we're just gonna win, showing everyone knows, and come here, showing everyone here. Like that shit was we predicted that shit months ago.
There you go. So speaking of LCO and speaking of everything, like I got to ask your teammates, BioPanther and Pradith, what they thought and how they felt when OPL went away. And then there was that moment of like, hey, what do we do? What were those couple of weeks and almost months like for you, who was like, well, now what?
Well, I think I had a slightly different experience compared to others. I actually pretty much decided I wasn't gonna play again. I was kind of borderline what I wanted to do again after last year, sorry. I didn't have the best year. I think I didn't really mesh well in my team environment, and everything was really hard for me. I felt pretty sad a lot of the year, and the wins weren't coming through, and I just felt really poor about everything that's happening. So I guess when OPL was announced it was disbanded, I was like, okay, well, this is just the sign that I needed. Um, and I guess ESL, because ESL used to run our academy league in Australia, and they ran it really, really well. So ESL, people that runs LCO now. So when it was announced that they were taking over, and I started getting a big FOMO moment where people were leaving NA. I was like, holy crap! I'm not ready to leave. I need to come back. So I started playing League for a couple months, and I guess the competitive spirit really just started flaring as hard as possible. And especially when the ESL came back, I was like, holy crap! I need to do this. I need to come back. And that was when I started talking to the players and the people that I wanted to play with. And this team was the team that I wanted to play with. The end of last year, I was having a conversation with one of my teammates. If you could make a perfect team, who would it be? This was the team that I said. Every single one of these players, this is the team that I said.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's kind of where I wanted to dive in, because you've got to play on a big team like Legacy. You were previously on Avant Gaming, which is another org that's been around for a while that I knew of. What makes this group so damn special?
Well, it's just the personalities. Everyone meshes well. Everyone just meshes completely. There's just always laughs. Everyone's supportive. Personalities are similar. Obviously we're not the same person, but there's a lot of similarities where we can all just take the joke out of a bad situation. So things are serious, but not serious enough that we let our emotions get taken away. And we definitely got pushed here. Things in Australia when you're winning every game is very chill. So coming here, we were winning at the start, and obviously we started copying a lot of L's towards the Rumble stage. Things started to get a little more heated. There was arguments coming up. The team environment definitely took a plummet. And we weren't exactly the best of friends during that time, but we decided we need to have a chat, and we spoke about it. We spoke about how we need to address each other, how we need to go moving forward, and we just fixed it in one conversation. Everything's just it's just water under the bridge, whatever. We went back to how we were, and that's when we beat C9 that day. Actually, we just completely flipped it around the night before, and we were okay, we need to take one game. If we're gonna lose every game and feel like shit, we need to take one win. And that's our goal from here. So it's just that stuff wouldn't happen in my previous teams. We just wouldn't be able to get past shit that happened. We wouldn't be able to band together, and we just wouldn't when you're friends with someone because you're actually friends, or you're friends out of convenience.
Yeah.
We're not friends out of convenience. We're friends because we're friends. That's a really big thing. And also on top of that, it's also best player in position in each role, like from our region. So it's just kind of like perfect. It's just literally perfect. I don't really know how to say other than that. It's just perfect.
Sounds
when it comes to Earth, at
2000
least.
sounds like 2016 CLG vibes. They were sold as the friendship team, and that team very much loved each other, and it was really cool to see it revived here. But did you have to have the conversation on night 3 before day 4? To be honest, like when I saw the schedule, and I was like, oh shit, this is when Pentanet plays 2 Western teams, and they already lost to Bad Lions, so we're in trouble. Like, please talk me through what that day was like and what that match was like.
Well, like if we're gonna be one team, it just kind of makes sense for it to be the NA team. Like that just pushes the storyline. That's just the biggest meme. And like there's been so many memes at this tournament that are all just revolving around Earth. So like why not one more? Why not like leave out with one more banger meme? And like obviously we didn't prepare harder for C9 compared to other teams. Like we wanted to beat anyone that we could and everyone that we could. C9 just happened to like fall in line for that. But yeah, like honestly, it was destiny. Like if you asked me which team would we beat, like for the funniest shit to happen, it would just be C9. Like it
would be C9, yeah, of course.
It just had to be C9.
Yeah.
And it was C9. So like the memes are hilarious. Like looking at the Reddit threads, looking at the Twitter stuff, it's just like it's so funny. It's so funny.
You've given us a lot of fodder for Face Check tomorrow, so that's gonna be a hell of an episode. Thanks to you. One thing I wanted to ask now was more specifically about you. How have you grown in this tournament, both as a player and as a person? I think we got a little bit about as a person from the insights of your team, but how have you grown as a player now?
Well, like it's easy to say we've just learned a lot of stuff. We definitely have. Every single player has learned about their laning, how like individualism, but also how to mesh and cohesively do things as a team, as a unit, as well as just how to communicate better in the game, what you want to do, what the enemy can do, like predicting their movements more in the future. Because I guess I notice people just do random shit all the time. Like, but now everything's like constructed. Everything's like, it's not just to say it's predictable, but like it's just obvious. Like if you can't defend something, then they're gonna go take that. So it's easy to like see that's going to happen. And maybe you can't do anything about it, but it's easy to see. So recognizing these things, it's just a lot of things that like fundamentally you need to be good. We need to be good at to be a good team. And we not pushed at those things back on Earth. So coming here has been a huge, like, we had to step up on that shit really quickly to even stand a chance. Like we were getting dismantled within 5 minutes against teams that just like, you don't ward your buff. Well, you just been 3-quartered in and you got double crabbed. And then now I'm going to dive your top laner. And then, cool. We play for 5 minutes and the game's over. Like, can we remake? Like we had to fix that shit instantly. So the difference between like our early games and the middle games against like unicorns and RNG at the start was a lot of, we just fumbled the early game way too quickly. And once we started picking that shit up, we got way better. So that was like the biggest thing for us. But in terms for me, I guess the confidence, like watching other players, the pure confidence they have just to do things. Like they'll just, I've had a little bit of a catchphrase, send it. Like they just send it all the time. They'll skill check you on everything. And they just have pure faith in themselves that they will dodge the skill shot. They will hit their skill shot. They will click their buttons faster. Like they will click their buttons better. And I admire that a lot. So that's been something that I've been trying to implement. And I think I did a pretty good job laning against Showmaker. Like there was a stage where he had Ignite and I was like half HP with cleanse down or something. And if the bubble lands, I am dying, but I will flip the fact that I'm going to dodge it. And I was doing that multiple times, which is not something that I would have been able to do a couple of weeks ago, especially laning against like Showmaker. You could argue he's the best player in the world. So I guess like this random Earth gentleman coming into the lane, is skill checking the best player in the world. Like that's a big thing for me. That's a huge confidence boost. And I'm going to take that with me against every other million I play for the rest of my life. So that's been one of the big things for me, for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it's been pretty well documented here in North America, at least, that most teams that go to MSI then struggle when they come back to their domestic league because of how unstructured the domestic league is compared to the team that we normally sent. All right, it's the MSI hangover. I don't think there's been a single team that had a great start after coming back from MSI. They usually find themselves in the middle of the pack, and I feel like it sounds like you worked on a lot of things outside of the structured play. It was the early games, the communication. It was really detailing what you want to do out of the game. So I think that's going to bode really well for you as you head on back. And so that's kind of the next question, which is, what's next? What's next from Pentanet? You had a hell of a story. You had a hell of a run, made history here. Every single player not only learned, but you went through the shitter and got upset at each other and then bounced back from that and had one of the biggest upsets in MSI history. What's next when you go back to LCO?
Well, we're going to go back and just do it all over again. Like everything that happened here is just the start. Like we're going to come back. So I don't know who's watched the LCO, but we had an undefeated split. And then the last game, there was a bit of a meme where if anyone picked a Mumu, one of the casters would get a Mumu tattoo. And we slammed a Mumu and we bombed our draft completely and lost our perfect split against like the second last place team. So we'll be coming back and getting a perfect split and then running through the gauntlet to come straight back to Worlds. And then we're going to make it through groups again, or we're going to make it out of the wild card thingy. I can't remember what it's called exactly. And we're going to make it to the main stage because OS hasn't done that either. So, like whatever, we're just going to make history 2 times 1 year. All good.
Yeah.
Is what it is. That's what we're playing for.
That's the hope, man. I just wish nothing but the best for you guys. It's been fantastic getting to know you all, getting to know your story. I've heard it through Rusty. I've heard it through Skimmy, but to meet you all in person has just been fantastic. And your edge that you have to send it every time and then really learn what that means when you're doing it against the best teams. I think it's been really fun to watch because once you get to even playing field past the early game, we got to see what kind of damage you were able to do, not even just in the win against Cloud9, but against some of the other teams as well. So it's been a lot of fun to watch.
Close games.
Do you have any final closing words for your fans or people that have supported you or now know who you are?
Well, just wanted to say thank you to everybody. Everyone like me and all my teammates have just gotten so much support from people all around the world. Even the rioters at the event here love us. Everywhere we go, everyone's like, hey, how are you guys going? Like, are you guys still in high spirits? We're cheering for you. Or our favorite teams here. And then all the fans on Twitter, like permanently talking about how like, oh, they're rooting for PSG, but we really love you now. Or like, we love NA, but like, we really love you now too. Like, we were sad that you beat NA, but we love PGG. Like everyone from every region is just like kind of rallying around us. And it means the world to us that everyone just supports us. Like even though we're not doing the best right now, like we hope that I guess everyone enjoyed our games and had fun watching us because we had a blast playing. So thank you everybody for the kind messages, the loves, the support, the artworks, everything, the follows, everything that's happening. Like we love it so much. So yeah, just thank you so much, everybody.
To going from thinking about ending his career to then sticking it to Cloud9, Perks, and the rest of the North Americans. Chazz, everybody, thank you so much for joining me, brother.
Thank you so much.